hydration, SPF, like you said, is so key because our skin gets drier through menopause, thinner. You need to keep adding, keep replenishing, like even oils, using oils, whether it be your own, taking your omegas as well as using oils on your skin are really beneficial.
Hey everyone, it's Tony Will. Oh my gosh, today's episode of Women In, you're in for a treat, and I cannot wait for you to meet my next guest. But before you meet her, let me tell you what you're listening to. Women In is a podcast that celebrates women from all walks of life and the people who uplift them. Each episode features incredible voices from my world, sharing stories that spark inspiration, challenge the status quo, and remind us that empowering women empowers everyone. This is a bold, curious, and uncensored space where disruption is welcome, forward thinking is encouraged, and change is the goal. I'm passionate about breaking down barriers, not just for us, but for the next generations. Whether our paths cross professionally or personally, these conversations matter. Let's dive in and celebrate the power of connection, growth, and the people who are shaping our world. And this woman is definitely one of them. Jenepher Reynolds is a makeup artist turned beauty founder who spent years shaping how women are seen through editorial, film, television, and national campaigns in Canada. After noticing a lack of honest conversations around aging, hormonal changes, and confidence in beauty, she launched Jenn of Arch, a brand focused on practical confidence-building tools for women over 40. Her work has been featured in outlets including Women's Health, Byrdie, PopSugar, and her Eyebrow I.D system won a Beauty Tank Award at the 2025 Makeup in New York show. Based in Charleston, Charlottetown, PEI. PEI, everyone, is Prince Edward Island. Jenepher creates beauty solutions designed to help women look polished and feel confident at any age. I cannot wait to talk to you, Jenepher. Hi.
Hi, so nice to meet you.
It is a pleasure, and I like to mention PEI because my day job is in hockey, and so I have a lot of friends to the north, and we did look at a team in PEI, Prince Edward's Island, and we did not end up going forward with it, but boy, what a beautiful area, and you get to call that home.
Yeah, it's absolutely, if you could see my view right now, I'm very fortunate where I live. I live on the waterfront in Charlottetown, so I'm right at the moment, I am watching the sunlight dance across the water. It's beautiful.
Oh, well, welcome. And tell everyone how you and I came into each other's lives.
Well, I'm so unable to I'm already in my head, Tony. Sorry.
It's okay. I get there all the time too.
Okay. And I'm very I don't flub. I'm brutally honest, so I will just say I have a PR person.
Yep.
And she connected the two of us together. And then, as I mentioned earlier, I listened to your podcast and really am pleased that I have this opportunity to chat with you.
Absolutely. So let me talk about PR and public relations for everyone's like, what's PR? And only because in my pro hockey life, we have a PR director and we're, media all the time. And my day job is very public facing. But for those of us who are entrepreneurs and have brands, we too choose to hire PR agencies to help us craft our narrative and put us in the spaces where we can sell our products. And there's no shame in any of that. So for my book coming out, I have a PR firm too. And it's tempting. So I want to ask you about this, Jenepher. It's tempting to think we can do it all. And like, oh, I can launch my makeup brand or my book or whatever. But no, you and I went to experts to help us. So tell me, because this is one of my leadership pillars, go to the experts. So why did you choose to hire the PR firm to help you?
Just like you're saying, is realizing that I can't do it all. I don't know how to put myself out there, create that visibility. Plus, a PR person has the connections within the publications to, she has the reach to get your name or get your brand in the door. So I'm very much when people say, oh, men or women, whomever can do it all. No, you can't. No, something's gonna lack. Something's gonna give. It's not possible.
Exactly.
when you realize you need experts in different areas, whether it be marketing, whether it be in copywriting or sending out mass emails or whatever it may be, hiring someone who does it on, just like you and I, right? Like I know where I fall in the makeup industry and what my forte is. So, it's like staying kind of stay in your lane.
Yes, it is so
Yeah.
true. So here's the other thing I like to point out. Like really famous people, like, Mel Robbins, Joe Rogan, whoever, they have PR people. So
Yeah.
everyday people like Jenepher and I can have PR people too, and actually it's really smart. So I call that out because as I've been learning this world of my own brand and what I'm doing and launching a book, I'm like, oh, I never stopped to consider like hiring that externally until I was like, well, let me look at my goals. And then I work backwards. And that was part of the goal was hiring a PR firm that made sense to me.
Yeah. Reverse engineering is so insightful and smart. Having your goals is one thing, but then reverse engineering. And okay, this is the end goal, launching the book or publishing the book. How do I get there? How do I get eyes on it?
Yes. Let's reverse engineer you. You're here today, but I want to know your story. I want to know, and I have so many questions about makeup and being over 40 and all these things. But I want to hear what brought you there. So take me as far back as you'd like to go and bring us to present day around your professional journey.
Sure. Always like studied creative fields, like studied fashion design, graphic design, and then makeup. Um, and that I knew I was somewhere in that space. I belonged somewhere in that space. Um, and then I'm from Montreal originally, and I ended up going to high school in Prince Edward Island, but then went to Toronto to study makeup and stayed there for a good while and apprenticed and then worked in the industry. And I just, I guess it's like I'm very visual, and in the beginning realizing that I just love looking at beautiful
Mhm.
things, as trivial as that may sound. But then it evolved into um, what I did for a career and how it made people feel. And really, that is the bottom line. It's not okay, I made them look this way. It was how they felt internally afterwards.
Yes.
Um, and that's what it comes down to. It's like even, the podcast, it's like people listen because they're connecting. It's how it's making them feel. It's not necessarily the words we're choosing or visually how you and I engage, right?
Right.
It's always about how it makes you feel. So that's where I landed. And I'm very realistic about the beauty space personally.
Tell me more about that. I want to hear about that because this is where I'm at. I turned 48 in a week, and I have chosen to, at this stage, I say this as of May 23rd, this won't come out till July, but as of May 23rd, 2026, I have chosen just to age naturally. And so, and that does not mean I'm judging someone who chooses Botox or fillers or any of that. I don't. I'm
Yes.
intrigued because there's so much, Jenepher, thrown at us women, pain
Yeah.
point marketing. So I want to hear your perspective on this. You know, and I love what you said. It's about how you want to make women feel.
Yeah.
So tell me more.
Yeah. I'm very much like whatever makes you happy.
Yes.
When you like if you get up in the morning and you put on a full face of makeup and you're doing it because it makes you feel good, good on you. That's wonderful. That's fantastic. If you get up in the morning and you put nothing on your face and you feel good, that's fantastic too. It's not about, you know, rigidity and we have to look a certain way and we have to try an anti-age, which is bull because there's no such thing. Um, it's about really aging and feeling good in your skin, living and feeling good in your skin, whether it involves makeup or not.
Yeah, I love that. Today I decided no makeup, and I'm just like, but I'm okay with that today.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean every day I'm like okay with that. So you said anti-aging products are bullshit. I'll say it because we can swear here if you want.
Okay.
I've yeah, it's like my last vice I have. So that and Cool Ranch Doritos. But tell me about that anti-aging BS. Like I want to hear an expert tell me why it doesn't work.
Well, if you just take the term anti-aging, there's no such thing. It doesn't exist. We're always, every second of every day, we're aging. And we all know someone who hasn't made it this far. So it's like, just embrace it, be thankful for it. Yeah, you're looking in the mirror, and I do it all the time. I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh God,
Mhm.
my skin's so dehydrated. My da, da, da. And it's like, no, you are the most comfortable you've ever in your skin you've ever been in your life. Dive into that because that's going to show. That's going to exude. I believe when you're truly comfortable in your skin and you become happy, that gets into every cell.
Mm.
Show me one person at any age who's happy. Show me one person at any age who isn't. And then as they age, you're going to see it right here.
100%.
Right? On a cellular level, that happiness or sadness or anger, it's going to show.
Yeah, I mean that is so true. And I can just think of pictures of me because I think, what do they say? What the windows to the soul or through your eyes, or it's not through your
Yes.
skin or your wrinkles, or I mean, I've noticed stuff too. Like this one eye is starting to droop a little, and I'm like, what is this? The wrinkles don't bother me. It's like this droopy eye, and I'm like, well, do I do something? I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna be who I am. So tell me
Yeah.
some, like, if you were to give, and I'm sure you get asked about this part a lot, foundational must-haves for our skincare for our face. What are those in your opinion?
Um, Hydration.
Okay, water.
Water internally, right? And then externally, obviously, moisture. And then in the food you eat as well, right? Hydrating foods, all that kind of thing. Um, but I swear to God, like there aren't enough articles that talk about your mindset and how that reflects externally. Like I really want to see more of that.
Yeah.
So sorry, getting back to your
No, I
question.
think you're absolutely right.
Yeah, so hydration internally, externally. And then when it comes to makeup products, for example, I mean, obviously I'm going top
Yep.
down. I'm eyebrow obsessed.
Okay.
So eyebrows totally frame the face. Makeup is an accessory. Creating that frame that frames the eye and the face and complements your face, I think is important. However you do that, whether it's with a pencil or shadow or microblading or
Okay.
whatever. Um, as we age, we lose the collagen and the fat in our face. Where we see it first off, the eye area, right? Our eyes are the most recessed part of our face. Add to that, skin is the thinnest.
Mm.
So to bring the eyes back to being more forward, we need typically color correcting concealer, because most of us are like either a blue purple or slightly brown, depending on your skin tone. So you need a slight color correcting of those shades,
Okay.
and then a little bit of brightening to bring the eye forward and create focus. Another quick thing, our eyelashes, just like everything over time, they go from this. You look at a little kid, those lashes are like,
Oh, they're
right?
beautiful.
Right? And then over time, like everything on us, it does this. So we see less of the whites of the eye and the hair starts to point downward. Once you curl your lashes, you see more of the white of the eyes and the hair is pointing upward, giving a visual lift. Whether you use mascara or not, an eyelash curler, I'm like, that's a desert island thing. You gotta bring an eyelash curler.
These tips, I'm writing all this shit down, everyone, because I've not heard these great practical tips like Jennifer's saying. So thank you.
That that's what I am. I'm so incredibly practical and explain the why. Because if you don't know the why or consider the why of something, why bother? I watch 50 million Instagram videos or whatever, and the why isn't shown. I'm sitting there like, are you kidding me? First of all, you're 20 years old. You are absolutely stunning. You look like 0.0002% of the population, and you're slathering on tons of makeup. So unless you're wearing a paper bag over your face, you're always going to look gorgeous.
Exactly.
Like, I know that seems extreme. I feel like just saying that is a little bit extreme, but it's the truth. How many videos do we see and the person is model beautiful, 20 years old with flawless skin?
And that's what, and don't even get me started on when women see this, no matter what age we're at, it's like, oh, it's hard not to compare. And I coach a lot of clients on comparison and trying not to I mean, at 48, I'm not going to look at a 20-year-old and think, boy, I want to look 20, because I don't. But what I
Yeah,
do think is good for her. Whatever her choices are, good for her that she's so
right.
beautiful. And I check in with myself to see if I really mean that. And if I don't, then okay, great. I have an opportunity to work on myself. Like, what is it within me that I'm not happy with that I might want to work on?
Right, right, exactly. Yes, I totally agree with you. The thing is, so often with those videos, it's putting into place that really there's a lot of it's to sell, right? So you're looking at the video and you're like, oh, okay, well, if I get those products, then maybe I will look like her.
Yes.
Really, that's a lot of the messaging
It is.
unsaid.
So let's talk about that, because I've been had this conversation with women a lot, and I'm catching myself in the thought process now, but I'm trying to resist being sucked in by that pain point marketing. And by that I mean women over 40 are getting marketed for different eyeshadows, let's say, for, your eye becomes more hooded, or, eye makeup resting into the creases, like what you can do to, I mean, all the things, like, so what I mean, is that their makeup out there that's different for women over 40? Is that a real thing, or is that just marketed to us to get us to buy so we don't feel like we're anti-aging?
Um, I think I think that part of it is marketing because in a week's time they're going to try and sell you something else. Part of it is one thing as we age, we lose, like I said, the collagen, elasticity, and hydration. So, going back to your question about products to use, hydration is key. Because when our skin gets a little dry, it can start to look a little dull and flat and a little lifeless.
Mm-hmm.
So, purchasing products, whether it be sheer foundation or tinted moisturizer, that kind of thing, but very hydrating.
Okay.
Everything, for the most part, some people are oily, but they're not most of the population. Were dry. So putting that back in will enhance the skin.
Yes.
But yeah, keep in mind that when people are selling products, if you follow their channel or whatever it may be, and every week they have a new product for you 40-something-year-olds, then is it really for a 40-something-year-old because every week they're trying to sell you a new product? Or are they just trying to sell?
Revenue. Yeah, they just.
You know?
So talk to me. One of the things I get asked, because someone asked me recently, they're like, "Oh my gosh, your skin looks great," and I'm like, "Thank you." It's not something I hear often, so I'm not fishing for compliments. But I'm like, one of the things I've done, I think, since my mid 20s is I use an SPF moisturizer every day.
That's awesome.
And so is that like, and I read that or heard that somewhere, like put SPF on your face every day. And so I found a moisturizer with SPF. If it doesn't have it in there, it's not happening. And I buy a Neutrogena one. It's not, I mean, it's mid priced. I think it's $25, maybe 20 for, what, 3-4 ounces. So
Yeah, yeah.
is that a myth or is that fact?
No, that's fact. Like SPF year round makes a huge difference on your skin. Reason being, um, uh, sun damage. So three of the biggest agers: smoking, stress, and sun.
Yeah.
So if you can combat sun damage by using SPF every day, that's gonna definitely help your skin.
Yes. I got something else for you here, Jenepher. My husband one day says to me, Tony, have you seen the spray you put on your face to identify the facial hair? Because he's like, you might want to start looking into that. And I said, no, I haven't, but let's give it a rip, man. So he orders it for me.
Yeah.
I put this shit on my face. I'm like, oh my God. So then I dermablade, I take and I got to tell you, first off, I was mortified that I have that much facial hair, but
Right.
whatever, I'll move on. But my skin felt so good afterwards. And to your point, that dullness that had gone and I was bright. So I'm like dermablade, like hello. And I just do it at home. Now I know you can go get them done professionally, but
Right.
tell me about that part of facial care and as it relates to your beliefs and your experience.
Well, so our skin turns around, so sheds,
Yep.
30-day cycle, and then as we age, that slows down. And we tend to be aware of it on our legs because we see the dryness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we shave our legs, and oh, my leg is so smooth, because when you shave the hair off, you also took some of the dead skin.
Mm.
So in doing that, because dead skin doesn't necessarily just always slough off, it can sit there and then build up. So the whole dermaplaning aspect helps remove not only the fine vellus hair, but then the dead skin that may have accumulated. So then you've got this lovely fresh skin underneath. Products can penetrate better. Lines, right? So dead skin is dry, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's dead. It's dull in appearance, right? You think about looking at a piece of dead skin and looking at live skin. Really, like, think of it that way. Look at the color of it.
Yeah.
And when you move, like, because I've offered dermaplaning on a lot of people, you remove it and it's got a gray pallor about it.
Yes.
Well, that was sitting on your face. So you remove it, the face is brighter, skin is brighter, lines appear less so because you've removed the dead accumulated skin. If you think about it, right? If there's layers of dead skin and you've got lines, the lines are going to appear a little bit deeper. So yeah, lines appear less so, products can penetrate better, and it can help with hyperpigmentation because you can slough off a little bit, right? Not moles, but
Right.
hyperpigmentation.
Yeah, I need to get my terminology right. Dermablading's different than dermaplaning.
Yes,
What's the difference?
but it's the same. It's a different term. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
It's the same thing.
I just because I'll call myself out on my wrong terminology. But so how often should someone do this? Because I'd probably do it every other week.
Okay, well, the blades that you're purchasing aren't as sharp as the ones that I can buy.
Okay.
So you really, actually, honestly, you still don't need to do it that much.
Okay.
Maybe do it every few weeks.
Okay.
Because you don't want to ruin your skin's barrier, like the natural barrier of your skin, right? Because like I said, the skin turns around at a certain rate. And if you're constantly trying to get it off,
Yes.
you're going to damage your skin.
Okay. All right. Good to know. And as I get closer, like I'm perimenopause. Everyone on planet Earth knows this because I will talk about it to ad nauseum because I wrote a whole blog on it this week because my favorite thing now is to travel. When I travel for work or for speaking engagements, I turn the AC down to like 62 degrees and I'm living in heaven. And so so how is that as women age and move from perimenopause to menopause, which by the way, everyone, menopause is just one day. Perimenopause is a long years and years. So, and then post-menopause, how does that affect our skin and then the makeup we choose and the products we choose to put on our face?
Well, again, like I'm going back to the hydration. Again, when you go through menopause and all the hormonal shifts, again, part of it is your skin gets drier, our skin gets thinner as we age, that a lot of us get more of that vellus hair, as well as a lot of women get pigmented hair
Mm-hmm.
in and around this part of their face. So, it's got in my, sorry, Tony, I got into my head
That's
there.
okay.
Do you mind asking me that question
Yeah.
again?
So as we move from perimenopause to menopause, which is 1 day, and then postmenopause, what do we change anything about what we're doing with our skincare products and our makeup?
Um, I think, again, going back to hydration.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because I have an oil that I've been using at nighttime, and I didn't know, like my mom didn't do any of that stuff. So I'm trying not to be, you see some women that have all kinds of products. Again, I'm not judging, but I just want to
Yeah.
have what I actually need. And a nighttime oil is one of the things that's in my repertoire because it's not cheap.
Yeah. No, I think a good one, like I use one, and it's all, frankincense and all these Abyssinian oil. It's a real combo of 13 different essential oils. Um, but boy, when I put it on at night and wake up in the morning, my skin feels so good.
Yes.
It feels so soft and so hydrated. I think it's really important.
Okay. The other thing I want to mention about dehydration and you mentioned smoking, but the other thing that dehydrates our skin a shit ton is drinking alcohol. And
Yeah.
women are targeted there. I mean, it's called the pinking of alcohol. Now, I am a bit of an evangelist because I quit drinking almost 6 years ago. But if ladies, if you're listening to this, or men even, who cares? If you're drinking alcohol, you're dehydrating your skin.
Totally. Totally. I think about this all the time. And then as I was saying to you, I was listening to your podcasts and how this is, like you say, this is something it's really important to you, obviously, sobriety. And not, again, not that you're judging,
No.
but yeah. Um, was it Melissa you were talking to, and replacing the word alcohol with poison, or the word alcohol with drug, and the damage. Like, we're just talking on a topical level, right? But you're talking like internally what it's doing.
Yes.
And the skin, right? So the skin is your largest organ, and it's on the outside, right? You were talking with Melissa about internal damage. Well, if your skin is your largest organ and we see it, what the heck is alcohol doing? That you may or may not see, like over time, what it's doing.
Yes. I want to talk about that again, just real quick for people that not catch that. Our biggest organ on our body is our skin. And so people don't necessarily like stop and think about that. When I learned that, I was like, huh. And it made me um, really stop and consider what I'm putting on my skin, because we put a lot on there, whether
Yeah.
it's sunscreen or bug spray or, nice smelling lotions or neosporin or, I mean, we put all kinds of shit.
Whatever.
Our shampoo,
Yeah.
so there's a lot that seeps in through our skin to our
Yes.
body.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. I totally agree. Sorry.
no, it's fine. I just think I didn't stop to consider that. I use this app called Yuka, and you can scan the barcodes of the products you're using to see what. Have you heard of that, Jennifer?
I haven't heard of Yuka, but I've heard of other um, apps like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So it
think
it
it's,
can tell you like what I used on my shampoo, on the mousse I put in my hair, any products, my makeup. You can use it for your makeup, and if it's got gargly goop shit in it, it'll tell you, and then you can choose a better product based on if that's something you care about or not. Some people are like, I don't give a shit. Okay, cool, you do you. But I've started to
yeah.
care more.
Yeah, yeah. No, and even the products that we smell, like I've heard studies about those home fragrance units that you plug in and you're ingesting,
Yep.
and how toxic they are. And you're ingesting, you're not putting them on your skin, um, and you're not eating them, but you're still ingesting them. And they're so toxic.
Yeah, it's like secondhand smoke. Well, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the other thing about smoking I want to point out, and alcohol as it relates, and people don't know this, so I talk about this. If you drink one bottle of wine, then most of us have over a lifetime, so it's
Yeah.
four glasses is in a bottle, but one bottle of wine is the equivalent of smoking 10 cigarettes.
Really?
Yeah, the carcinogens in the wine as so people are like, I've never smoked. I'm like, awesome, neither have I, but I have drank more than a bottle of wine in my lifetime. So those
Yeah.
it's a class 1 carcinogen.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
The other thing too about alcohol, you got me thinking. Like, I mean, I think a lot of us have gone through life where there were times where we drank more or drank less. And I remember a time when I was working out really hard, but then I was also drinking really hard. And it was over an extended period of time. Thankfully, I'm really looking into myself and I've dramatically cut back
Bravo.
the amount of alcohol I consume. But at that time, I remember I was about to head out for a run, and I caught my eye in myself, and I was like, my eyes are just shrinking.
Yep.
And when you look at someone, and I see this in clients, and you see people walking down the street, you can see, I feel like you can see in someone's face who excessively abuses alcohol, the swelling,
Yep.
the broken capillaries, the swelling, all the external swelling. And when I saw that in the mirror, my eyes sinking back, I was like, I remember saying to myself, Jenepher, that's alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're seeing in your face right now. You have got to do something about this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I often don't think it's celebrated enough, which is why I coach people to alcohol reduction, not just removal, but reduction, because I know when I was trying to reduce, um, it was like no one, like I wanted some like, hey, atta girls, and I didn't get that. So I was like, well, I'm going to change that narrative on that too, or try to as one person
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
good for you. Okay. I want to talk about some of the women in your life. And so, who are the women in your life, Jenepher, that helped you become the woman that sits before me today?
Um, I I have I come from a big family. I have three
Mm,
sisters, and um, I would say that because of my mother and them, I see bits of my mother in them. But my point to be like one of my sisters, Bridget, she was she 60 when she decided to become an entrepreneur.
awesome.
Like I remember thinking, and she was moving from the US back to Canada and making this dramatic shift. And she was, all in her head, of course, making this major change. And I was like, Bridget, this is freaking amazing that you're doing this. Like, just give yourself, I kept trying to say, you boost her up and say, come on, you're doing an amazing job. Focus on the positive. This is amazing, what you're trying to achieve. And in my head, and I would have said it to her, it's like at this age, same thing. And my other sister, Anne, she did it too. She was pushed out of a position and believe it supposedly it was because of her age. Like this is a woman who works in any job she's ever done. She's usually working two
Yeah,
jobs because she works her absolute butt off. And she was pushed out of her position and started working for herself. And she was over 60 when she did this.
amazing. I love souls
And
like
I
that.
Me too. It's like that belief. And I live in a small conservative town where when people start hitting 60, it's like, okay, thinking about retiring
Yeah,
and working in the garden. That's fine. If that's
sure.
what you want, that's fine, right? To each your own. Um, that's not me, and that's not where I come from.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so your sisters, have they found success in entrepreneurship and role modeling
Yeah.
great behavior?
Yeah, Bridget's very happy in the amount of work she's doing. She's also enjoying life more. Her partner, they have a boat, so they sail around Vancouver Island. My sister Anne, who she was like my dad, like total workaholic. She's eased back on that, which is amazing to see. I always thought she was going to remain, that driven workaholic, and I see her enjoying life more. My sister Ellen too is just, oh, I, she's the one I'm closest to, but she's the farthest
Furthest
away.
away.
But still, like just such a good, decent, real, kind person
Yeah.
at our core, you know. Realness is important to me. People who are real and true and genuine, and treat others with decency, no matter who you are, no matter if you're sitting outside the liquor store looking for change. It's like treat people with decency.
Absolutely. Kindness.
That's a yeah.
So the name of the podcast, Women in dot dot dot, it came to me. I originally wanted to do a podcast. Well, actually, I didn't want to do any podcast because I felt like everyone was doing it. But I also have a lot to say. So one day I was walking the dog and I came in and I'm like, oh, I know what I want to do. I want to lift women up in sports because it's a very male dominated industry. And then I was like, no, it's bigger than that. And women are bigger than their occupation. So I kicked out the word sports. I threw in the three dots. I didn't want just women on the podcast, but men on the podcast too, because they're important women in men's lives. Men came from women, and the word men is in women. So, but
Yes.
for the women that come on the podcast, I want them to fill in those dots for themselves. So, if you were to fill in those dots to describe yourself, Jenepher, what would that be? Women in what?
Women in self
Ooh,
acceptance.
that's great.
Women in I want to say self confidence. I just feel when I look at women that I admire, and then feeling better in my skin now, it's come out of self acceptance and self love, not perfection and not striving for perfection, but just coming to terms with who you are and thinking, holy shit, I'm a truly, I am a decent human being, and I want to help others feel good, as cheesy as that may sound.
No, I totally.
And so, like just becoming so feeling good in your skin, not that, as crepey as it may be.
It happens. But like you said, it's a gift that we're aging. It's not a
Yeah.
bad thing. So
No.
it's a good thing. Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, I know this might seem obvious, but I still want to ask it. How do you lift women up?
Um, okay. I just feel like I say a lot, but it is true, and it does sound cheesy, but you know what? I try and I've tried more and more to meet people where they're at, because I used to be, I had so much self-loathing that I was judging myself and then of course judging others. And now I'm trying to be less so. So meet people where they're at, and again, treat them with decency, and say they're coming to me for a facial or a makeup lesson or a product or whatever, that do it in a kind, genuine, unjudgmental, realistic manner. I guess that's how I like to think I lift people up.
Absolutely. I want to know what you're learning about right now. So if you're reading something, you're listening to podcasts, what are you learning about these days?
Um, Learning about. Um, I, I've always been one to keep trying to look within to improve myself,
Yeah.
because then if you're constantly sort of looking into yourself, hopefully it's about growth and becoming a better person, and hopefully that means that you're gonna you know help the world around you, improve the world around you. So that continuing to look within and introspection. um, as far as reading, there's an ad guy. He's in the U.S. now, I think, but he's originally from
Hmm.
Canada. Terry O'Reilly.
Hmm.
I don't know if you've heard of
I
him.
haven't.
Okay, he's written a number of books, and he has a podcast as well. And my mother, I'd be working, and my mother would be phone me up, and I'd be working, and she'd be like, "Jenepher, did you hear Terry O'Reilly?" It's like, "No, Mom, I'm working." But he's so good, because he would look at the history of advertising, whether it be through errors that were successful and all that kind of thing. His latest book is called Against the Grain, and a lot of his books are about advertising and how ad people um, made choices, and whether it was a mistake or a proper decision, and it excelled. It gets your creative juices going. I find every book of his I've read, it gets my mind spinning as far as creativity. So yeah, Against the Grain is about, say, someone who, here's a perfect example. He talks about Taylor Swift. I'm not necessarily a fan of her music,
Yeah.
but as a business person, oh my God, when I read the chapter on her, I see her in a completely different light. Obviously, she has great people around her, but what she has achieved and how she achieved it, and the whole thing of she had written a series of songs and the record label took the songs.
Yeah.
She didn't have them. She didn't own them. So she re-recorded them, really, in effect, to take possession back.
Smart.
Like, what is she, 20-something? Like, that is brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. I wrote this down because I want to read. When there's books out there that make you want to think differently or motivating, or that's exact. So I'm going to be reading this. So thank you for that.
Yeah. His other one that I really love it's called My Biggest, but then the eraser is on the cover, and it's My Best Mistake. And it's like, it talks about how, what's that insulation that's pink?
Oh, I know what you're talking. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That was a mistake.
Oh.
It wasn't supposed to be pink.
Oh.
It was supposed to be red, and something happened with the dye, and it was pink, and then they brought on the Pink Panther. What other insulation? If someone talks about insulation,
Yeah.
you think of, but we can't think of the name, but we're thinking probably of the pink insulation.
Yeah. And what a great branding collaboration for both
Yeah.
Pink Panther and
Pink Panther.
insulation, which
I know, it's like, what are we doing? We're talking about insulation, but it's like, stuff like that really just lights me up.
yes. Well, I wrote them down and I'm going to read them. I'm excited.
Okay.
So, all right, a fun question, and then we'll wrap it up. So, lately, because I travel so much for all my passions and my career, I'm on airplanes a lot. So, I want to know, and this led me into a discussion last weekend when I was traveling. Are you the person who's flying, who is checking a bag, or are you carry-on only?
Okay, that is a really good question for me, because I will tell you, I am a horrible packer. I am literally, when I walk out the door, it's like the suitcase is open and I walk past all my stuff in the bathroom and I do this. And I throw it all, I fold my clothes, but they're thrown in. And I walk out the door, and 3/4 of the clothes are not worn, and most of the beauty products are not used. But I check my bag because of that. Now, in the last, I'd say 4 years, my bag has been lost 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to myself, okay, Jenepher, it's time to reevaluate this, because it's not working. Because the last time I lost my bag, I thought for sure I'm not getting it back.
So are you carry-on now?
Well, I haven't flown since I made that decision.
Okay, so it's in the hopper, because
Yes.
I am almost borderline nutso about I will only carry on. I don't care if I'm going to Europe for 2 weeks. I will only carry on, and I have had great success. I did an experiment this year. I checked the bag once and I didn't die, but I'm pretty certain I am allergic to checking my bag. So.
Oh, okay. Can I ask you a question right back?
Yeah.
So are you one of the people, as I'm sitting in the plane, are you one of the people who walks on with like 3 carry-ons?
No.
Okay.
No, I have my carry-on and I have my backpack. And in my backpack is my crossbody bag, but I can always fit it in. And so no, I am all about condense. And this last trip, I wore everything in my carry-on with the exception of one outfit, and I consider that a huge win, because what if I spilled on one of the outfits? So I had a backup. And so
Right.
I nailed it. I was like, I did it. So
Wow. That is organized. That I truly admire that.
And I hate packing because it takes, like, you have to think a lot. And I'm like, oh, it's hard because I'm like, I got this event and I got this. And if it's winter, forget about it because everything's bulkier. But So I do a lot of like, not that I'm into capsule dressing but I'm like, all right, grays, navies, blacks, and then I can just mix and match and whatever. I just pack extra underwear just in case. And anyways,
Yeah, then you're safe.
yeah. Anyways, I digress. Jenepher, this has been such a great conversation. If people want to connect with you, learn more about you, what you offer, your products, where can they find you?
So I have a website, jennofarch.com. So it's JENNOFARCH.com, and Instagram at Jenn of Arch. So those two places where you can find me. And a lot of people have been asking about my latest product that I invented and launched in October. And I am open if you want to send me a DM or if you want to email me and ask me about it. Totally open.
Wonderful. And that's the one you won the award on, the eyebrow.
In New York.
Yes. Congratulations on
Yeah.
that.
Thank you. And I've got like 70-year-olds reaching out to me, and I just love it. It's like, obviously, this is something women are looking for.
Well, yeah, as you said early on, this is how the face is framed.
Yeah.
Is the eyebrow. So check that out at Jenepher's website. And it's been such a pleasure to meet you and get to know you and talk more. And congratulations on all your success.
Thank you very much. And I so enjoy your podcast, and I will be listening for more, and I'm going to look forward to your book launch.
Thank you. Yes. What she teed me up beautifully. I didn't even ask. So if you guys are looking to connect with me, I'm not hard to find. The hockey side of my life is at kwings.com. And then everything else I'm working on when the big project is Rebellious Success, my book that is pre-order available now and drops on August 11th, can all be found at tonywill.com. And I'm on all social media platforms as well. And until next time.